I'd like to welcome everyone to the 9th Annual Peer Utility Group at Heritage Eagle Bend. And one thing I do want to emphasize, the first word in this conference is peer utility. Well, that's 2 words. Dang it. Practicing that all week. So the whole goal of this conference, this is not an SBS conference. This is your conference. The point of this is to hear each other's stories, learn from each other as a utility, what other utilities are doing, maybe learn something or provide advice to somebody on how to do things a little bit differently. So this started out kind of by accident 9 years ago. Is this our 9th one? Yeah, 9 years ago. It was originally held in a very small conference room at the Marriott out by our office, attended by Independence Power and Light, Kansas City Board of Public Utilities, who were on remote because they couldn't travel, Idaho Power, which is here today. I think I saw them here this morning. Louisville or Nashville, which was Kyle Baker, who is now still here but with a different company, and at the time was Kansas City Power and Light. So 5 utilities, and it's grown a little bit since then, and we're pretty happy with that. So to start off with the safety moment, altitude sickness is real. For those of you who don't live up in the highlands, it is affect you in terms, it's a short-term thing. If you feel it, it usually starts off with a headache, then it'll go to nausea. Anyone can get altitude sickness at any time. It doesn't matter your sex, your age, your physical condition. It can hit anybody. So just be careful. The things you don't want to do, Denver, the mile-high city, 5,200, we're actually at 5,980 here. So you are not high for Colorado. Well, got to be careful with that one. I'm not judging, so... But it is here. I mean, the key to altitude sickness is stay hydrated. Drink water. You can drink alcohol, but drink water with the alcohol. So get like a mixed drink or something. And do not try to overexert the first day. So do be careful. If you feel yourself getting a headache, just stop, slow down, drink a little water. Other surprise safety moment is there are power strips on the floor. They are taped down, but watch yourself on there and make sure I get those power strips back. Otherwise, we won't have Christmas lights at my house this year. So at the facilities, this is Heritage Eagle Bend. This is a private-owned club. All the facilities, the roads and everything are private-owned at Heritage Eagle Bend. So we do have access to this room, and you have access to all the public space because it's a private-public place, private-owned public facilities. So be respectful of the residents that live here. This is a 55-plus community. I live here. Some people can get a little cranky once they get older. So be a little bit, respectful of the residents that do live here. You have access to all the public places, the restaurant. If you need a private place for a call, if you go out across, you see the welcome desk, go across the hallway, there's a library on the right-hand side. That's open. If there's residents in there, be respectful. If you go down the hall, today we have Pike's Peak Room. That's available to us. That's where the dinner tonight will also be held. So we have access to that room. You can also go down the stairs. At the bottom of the stairs, there's tables and stuff down there. Wi-Fi works outside. Here, you got the outdoor space here if you need to make phone calls. That's all open space. If you want to do the golf facilities are, public facilities. You can use those. If you want to try the bocce courts are out there. The balls are out there. Just, again, respect the residents who are there first. There is free Wi-Fi, so if you haven't used it, it's Heritage Wi-Fi. That's this building. If you're on Heritage East, you're on the other side, and it's probably a really weak signal, so I would switch to the signal over here. Restrooms, if you go out the door, there's a set of restrooms right there. If you go all the way down the hall, past the desk, past Pike's Peak Room, there is a family bathroom down at that end also. The ones downstairs are behind the door. Any questions before we go? So on the agenda, it's on the board there. Introductions, that's me. And then we'll be turning this over to Dennis, who will be giving not industry trends, but we changed the title to Update SBS. I didn't update my slides. I was golfing yesterday. Then we'll be taking a break. And then APS is going to present their stories. So there's different utilities in different stages of an AUD. People who have been using it for years, people that are trying to get into productions, people that are working with EAM systems or GIS systems and how that new system. So again, this is your conference. We do not preview any of the presentations being made. We just said, APS, would you guys willing to tell your story? They say yes. And then we hope it's a good story. Well, it is a good story. We hope they talk good about me is what I'm hoping. No pressure, John Marie. Then LG and EKU, they were one of our first customers when we went into the strategic alliance with Autodesk. And they've been in production 5 years later. And LG&E is part of the PPL family, and now PPL is standardizing on our software. Because they bought Rhode Island. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of that utility. It's a long name. So they're now going to move the gas and electric from Rhode Island. PPL will be moving over to utility network and a system called Infor, and LG&E will eventually be merging in. And then how they selected AUD, because of they can model using just the template files, go to a common standard across the utilities over a longer period of time. Then there'll be lunch. Then Paul Gravel will be presenting what's new in the UDH GIS, the integration to the GIS system. Then the highlight of the show, always Dave Wilbur, will be presenting what's new in AUD. I'm sure there may be one or two questions that come up during that one. And then Joey Baker will be presenting. For those that don't know, we had our substation suite, which was inventor-based and AutoCAD electrical. We have moved the physical side into the AUD engine. So now you have all the power of distribution design. All that you're seeing AUD for distribution design is now supporting the substation design for physical. And then we're road mapping, being able to exchange data much quicker. And then there will be a dinner tonight sponsored by Autodesk that will be here at Heritage Eagle Bend down the hallway. Wednesday, Jack Hobson from Autodesk will be presenting the integrations, the whole field applications, construction, bringing back and forth. Then Sarah Jones will be presenting AUD configurations, where she's taking what she's done for different utilities. You may see something that could apply to you. That will be another highlight. Hydro One will be presenting their story. They moved off a GIS-based design tool and moved all the costing information from a customized GIS tool into SAP. And then ran into, it was a much bigger project, I think, than they expected on it and where they are with the story. Then we also, just like we moved substation support into the AUD engine, we're also now moving comms support into the AUD engine. So that's going to be for both in-house utilities and for comms people. We have a couple engineering companies here. SCE will be giving their story. They were one of our largest implementation that's out there. And then Jim will be presenting small jobs. This is one of the questions we always get is, well, AUD is great for these big complex jobs, and what about the small jobs? Well, it's good for that too. You have to tailor it to what you want. It's not a one size fits all. And then Wednesday night, the social will be at Topgolf. I didn't have the address, so I didn't put it up there. It's a semi-agile conference. You guys will hear that term a lot. So we adapt and overcome as we go through. But basically, Topgolf is about 7-8 miles just down the road. So the social will be there with the times. Taylor, what time is Topgolf? 6:30? 6:30. I knew that, sort of. And then Thursday, this is the day where we really just go into breakout sessions. All our technical people will be here. You can go to those different sessions. And if you want to sit down one-on-one with Sarah or Paul or Sean on the UDH, EAM, or any of our technical people, the project managers are all here. It's just a time to sit down. They'll be doing little sessions throughout the day on Thursday, and then we wrap up at 3 o'clock on Thursday. So this has grown. It's kind of, if you can just go through the names, if you can identify, just raise your hand so people know who's who. A lot of you have shirts on. So SoCal Gas in the back here. Encore is over here. So SoCal Gas has been in production. Encore is looking at AUD. Hopefully we'll be starting a pilot pretty soon. Roseville in the back, they've been an AUD user. I believe you're looking at integrations, so talk on that. SoCal Edison, longtime AUD user. They moved over from the old Autodesk AUD. We moved them over to the model-based AUD and redid all their integrations. And by going to a more flexible solution, a lot of time savings, particularly in the integrations. I know they've been seeing it there. APS, by far the largest contingent ever to attend a PUG conference. APS is in their process of implementing AUD with ArcFM, and then they're doing a Maximo integration, and project is getting shifted around, so they're able to give a story on how you adapt when things happen. AEPs, they're looking at doing a pilot to support their underground mesh network for the downtown. Idaho Power. So Idaho Power has been a long customer of ours. AUD standalone. They're looking at now going to a bigger picture upgrade of an end-to-end RFP, so we got to be a little careful about conversations out there. NV Energy, Salt River project. The Salt River, they long-time AUD, they have done some fantastic things with their AUD configuration, pretty much all in-house, I would say. Don't have a lot of integrations at this point, but that's one of the areas I know they're looking at. Westwood Engineering Company that has been looking at AUD, several conversations, so they're going to be looking across the board at everything, particularly comms, if I remember correctly, and solar on that. And Hydro One. Hydro One is an ArcFM customized solution, as I said, moving all the costing engine to SAP, and how AUD has to provide all that information now to the SAP system. Very, very complex costing engine up there in Canada, just for the record. Trico AUD, their NISC interface that we've been working on with the ArcFM integration that's out there. We also have several of our delivery partners and just companies that we work with together. UDC over here, Atwell Engineering in the back. They're one of our premier AUD configuration team. Power Engineers. So we've been working with the Power Engineer team on AUD. They also do the GIS and the EAM integrations with us. Ramtech. Ramtech we just started partnering with them. We've been working with them for years on data migration. They actually have a comms engineering, so we'll be talking with them on that. Locana again, they're one of our partners, do EAM, GIS, and AUD configuration, kind of an end-to-end system. Autodesk, hiding in the back. We work very closely with Autodesk, obviously, because all our products plug into Autodesk and the end-to-end integrations that are out there. And they have golf balls, so make sure you ask them for a sleeve of golf balls before you leave today. And if you're not a golfer, you can just drop them off in the back. Dang it. And then Microdesk. Microdesk is, we just started working with them. They're an Autodesk premier reseller that they will also be working with a lot of our software that's out there. On the phone that I skipped is we also have plenty of utilities. So this year we're actually having a professional photographer. It turned out the GoPro mounted to people's heads didn't work out too good like in past years. So we have a lot of international. We have utility from Turkey, Merhaba Efendim. I used to live in Turkey for 5 years. Hydro-Quebec from Canada, PPL, part of the LG&E family, Austin Energy, Burns McDonald's, Effigy, which was KCPL, is now one of our first attendees, now moving up into Effigy when they merged. SDG&E, Centerpoint, Gainesville Regional Utility. So everyone from Roseville GRU, nice municipalities, up to SCE, and the entire Berkshire Hathaway family on the software. So a lot of stuff that's out there. So lastly, before I turn this over to Dennis, this is your conference. We want to make sure that we're not going to facilitate it. I mean, that's all we're going to do. We're going to get the room. We're going to get people, speaker, provide the videos of this. Has anyone signed the video release form? Hopefully. Has anyone not signed the video release form? It's not like we're going to be doing these in big marketing things, but it's a requirement for some of the states that are here that we have a release form for everyone signed. They're going to go to YouTube. If you're registered at the conference, you will get the full videos of everything. This will be the highlight of your videos, I'm sure. And we will be able to parse parts of it down to the public, but you have to be a registered attendant to get the full video that's out there. Please ask questions. Don't make this like one of our WebEx requirement meetings where we feel like we're talking to an empty screen. So that's just a little hit when you're in the next requirement meeting. Ask questions. It's amazing what the software can do if you tell us what you want it to do. But just like I tell my kids, clairvoyancy is not a requirement that we will accept. If you don't tell us what you want, we can't implement it. If you tell us, I'm sure 99% of the time we will be able to implement it. You're going to hear from other utilities, find out what they have to say about it. And at any, one of the reasons we have a lot of social breaks is because I like a lot of social breaks, is also because this is a chance for you to talk to each other, find out what's going on, and get a fresh perspective from other utilities. So if you thought I could not reach this microphone, wait till this next guest.